Good morning. Welcome back to Coffee and Colorful Conversation. I hope a lot of you will join me today. I'm in rare form. This should be an interesting rant. Hello, Brent Elizabeth. So, I had a topic chosen. I always think about what I'm going to talk about on a Wednesday morning, on Tuesday evening. There's usually something going on that makes me want to chat about it. And I had a topic all planned out. And then I always wake up, check my emails, go on social media, see what's going on. I always take a little peek at the hair color forums where I spend way too much of my time. And I don't know if it's because it's that time of the month coming up for me and I'm PMSing, or what else is making me so crazy today. But I woke up to the photograph that I posted. If you finish this video and you haven't seen it, look on the feed on this page of a picture. I'll try to show it now. It's on my phone. It's probably going to be backwards, but it looks like this. Oh, no, it's not backwards. Good. So you can see it's haircuts $15, men $10. There's something called a half of a haircut, color $35. Long hair, 45, 15 foils, 45, and so on and so on. And then there's actually a category that says hairdos, 25. My blood pressure when I saw this was through the roof. And not just because this person doesn't have the confidence to charge what she's worth. I don't want to judge. I don't know what part of the country she's in. And I know that a lot of people use that as the measurement and an excuse for not charging what they're worth. But if you have followed me for any period of time, I've done several chats about charging what you're worth, your money curse. If you haven't seen any of those videos, please refer back to those. And that's why I'm so fired up. So on one of my chats, I asked everyone who watched to please go back to work the day that they finish watching it and raise their price by $5. Just a simple, quick $5 increase. I never heard back from anyone. I don't know if anyone has done that. But here's the problem. Traditionally, in the salon situation, people go to open a business, myself included. I opened my business in 1989. In a little 2-chair salon, and I had come from a big operation in a mall, and the prices, I always felt guilty charging the prices that the salon that I started in charged. And that was my money curse. That's what I was brought up with. How dare you? Who do you think you are, charging those high prices? So it always made me uncomfortable when someone who I knew personally came to see me at that salon. You know, I would always say to them, oh, just come to my house. I'll do your hair on my day off, because I felt bad that they had to pay those prices. Now that I've owned a salon for 30 years, I understand why their prices were what they were and are now. And I am proud to say that after 30 years of owning my salon and 32 years in the industry, I'm finally a little bit pricier than that salon where I started. And it's because I've educated myself a ridiculous amount. I think I go to more classes than any, executive at IBM, because every time I attend a workshop and learn something new, I'm able to raise my price, my demand increases, my wait list increases. There's a whole system to it. But it all comes down to perception, mostly for the client and for the stylist. And for these prices on this list, again, I don't know what part of the country, but this is the one that fires me up the most. Color, $35. If there's any owners on here watching and you're not sure where you came up with your pricing, traditionally people would just call around. You would open a salon and you would call. This was before technology and cell phones and everybody knows who's calling them. You could anonymously call a salon and say, hi, I'm calling to make an appointment. How much is your haircut? Oh, and how much is your color? Oh, and how about highlights? And you would write it down and you would call another salon and ask them. Well, this is why I'm so fired up. In this chat about this pricing, everyone is doing the same thing. They're like, oh, well, I charge this because the salon down the street charges that, and I don't want them to want to go to them and not me because I'm more expensive. Guys, what the neighbor is doing has nothing to do with you. You wouldn't want to sleep with your neighbor's husband. You wouldn't like her husband just because she likes him. You wouldn't go to the same supermarket just because she goes to the same supermarket. So why are you basing your prices on what she has chosen to charge? You don't know what her rent is. You don't know what her overhead is. There's so many factors that come into play when pricing your services, none of which am I seeing on these forums. I think it's just like whatever the person felt like doing that day. And then the fear that comes in with never raising it after that and leaving it stuck there. Like these prices in this photo are prices that I charged in 1989 when I opened my salon, and it's been 30 years. It should be higher 30 years later. There is no industry on planet Earth that still has the same price from 1985 or 89 that it does in 2018. The cost of produce just keeps rising. I don't stop eating produce. I want produce. I want vegetables and fruit and whatever I need, whatever the price is, I pay it. The cost of going to a movie. When we had small children and wanted a date night and went to the movies, we started to actually rethink going to the movies, because by the time we grabbed a quick, cheap, chainy kind of dinner, like a Pizzeria Uno dinner and a movie, by the time we paid a sitter, was $100 night on a Tuesday night. So we stopped doing that and we started doing Netflix. And at the time it was Blockbuster Video, where you would rent a video and watch it in your house and then be stressed out about returning it and get charged all the late fees. Again, I'm aging myself. But my point is, everything is in a constant state of change, and a root touch-up at $35, I promise you, whoever you are that put that picture up, you are not making a profit. A tube of hair color, I don't know where in the country there's a single tube of hair color that I can purchase that will cover gray and not melt the hair off for $3.50. Because that's how much the color would have to cost for this person to make any profit whatsoever in the salon. And that's if she's the owner. If she's a stylist, she'll make a little bit more because her commission is the same regardless of the profit margin for the owner. And on that note, if you did not watch the video that I shared on this page, Nina Tullio is a consultant for salons for the business end of it. I teach and I'm passionate about the hair color part of coaching. She does more of the business strategizing, that sort of coaching, and we make a great team. We both share ideas and put our information in front of each other's followings. And she was awesome yesterday when she talked about, how much a salon owner really gets to keep at the end of the day. And it's a great video. Everyone should see it. Employees, booth renters, owners, every single person in the industry needs to see that video and understand how expensive everything is. So years ago, when I was just starting out, I went to every seminar I possibly could. And along the way, I would love to give credit to whoever it was, but someone taught me a formula of pricing. And they said, without driving yourself crazy with spreadsheets and inflation charts and measurements that are very complicated and, require a degree in analytics, for the most part, you need to charge 11 times whatever the product cost is for that service. So of course, a haircut is hard to measure because it's 2 pumps of shampoo, a pump of conditioner, and the electricity of the blow dryer, but it also has to factor in the person who shampooed that person, the person that answers the phone, the towels that needed to be laundered, the towels that needed to be purchased, all the other combs, clips, clippers. I could go on and on. So it's very hard to measure on a haircut, but it's super easy to measure on a color service. So think about it, guys. When you go to work today, or if you're off today, go tomorrow, and you look at your pricing. If you're charging $35 for a retouch, right away, $7.50 is conservative. I've seen hair color at $9 a tube, $11 a tube. It's ridiculous. It's getting out of control. So let's just say, to keep the math easy, $7. So a $35 haircut with commission divided by 2, if the stylist is on 50% commission, that owner is already right off the bat at $17.50. And then the cost of the product is $7.50. So now the owner is down to $10. And depending on how long the person schedules for a root retouch, I personally schedule 1 hour for every client. So for me, I would be $10 would be the amount that I could possibly get for that service, but I'm not including the cost of my shampoo assistant, my front desk, my insurance, my matching taxes. So basically, when all is said and done, the salon probably makes about $1 on that root retouch. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be in business to make $1 an hour, and nobody should. And what needs to happen, and I can't stress this enough, and I hope that someone watching right now will go back to their salon and actually do something about it. We need to raise the bar. We need to earn the respect that we deserve from our clients. I don't care where in the country that salon is that's charging $35. I guarantee you that client in her chair, when she goes to make her next appointment, will pull out her iPhone. Her iPhone is over $1,000. People think nothing of paying $1,000 for a little square box that they put in their purse and they cannot live and breathe without. Then they have to pay monthly to have the internet service and be able to text people and be able to talk on the telephone, and that's on top of it. Your hair is something that never comes off of your head. It stays on your head 24/7, 365. Right now, I need my roots done so bad, it's driving me crazy. And I'm excited to get my hair done. I would be thrilled to pay what it's worth to get my hair done so that I don't have this dark, musty, gray hole in the top of my head. So I value that service, not just because I do it, but because I realize how important appearance is. People will judge you and make an assumption about you within the first 30 seconds of meeting you. So imagine the world if every one of us was bald. If there's in the future, picture a future where people just don't even bother with hair anymore and everyone just shaves their head. How different would the world be? How different would dating be? How different, like you would probably date people that you never would have dated before because the hair isn't coming into the picture. Like, I don't think people get how important hair really is. It can change your entire look. When I pull all my hair back, if I'm at a pool on vacation and I do this, I look like my brother. I totally look like my brother. Everybody that works with my brother, I have to take my glasses off to really be him. Everybody that knows my brother is like, oh my God, you are Eddie Guy with a wig. If you look up Eddie Guy on Facebook, this is Eddie Guy with a wig. So the hair and the frame around my face changes my total look. Some days when I'm having a bad hair day, I've been letting these bangs grow out. I always joke and say I look like Herbie the dentist from, I think it's Rudolph or A Year Without a Santa Claus. It's one of those old school cartoons, and Herbie is my doppelganger because this piece drives me crazy and it never has enough volume and I always look droopy there. And I would pay anything to find a hairdresser that can give me volume up there and teach me how to style my hair so that I don't have my Herbie dip. So I'm joking and I'm being funny, but really my hair, and everyone I think agrees, you know, when my godmother was diagnosed with breast cancer, she was given a choice whether or not to have chemo and radiation or just radiation. And she said the first thing out of her mouth wasn't, am I going to live? Am I going to die? Oh my gosh, you know, I need to call my family. The first words out of her mouth were, which one do I get to keep my hair? Which option? Like, she chose her hair over possibly losing her life. That's how important it was to her. And she was funny. She was very into her hair. She was always walking around with rollers in her hair, and she was adorable. And she did unfortunately pass away since then. And we'll never know if that would have made a difference, whether she chose that. But they've come out with new treatments. They have those cool caps now when people go through chemo. But I've been doing hair for 32 years, so you can only imagine the amount of clients that I have held their hand through that whole entire process. And to me, what I've seen, what I look back on, is how much the hair part really did them in. Like, it wasn't the throwing up after the chemo. It wasn't the being weak and tired. It wasn't any of that. They all talk about, oh my gosh, I never thought I was going to see my hair again. It was so devastating. And the look on their face when you're shaving the last bits of their hair off. So, of course, with my ADD, I just went off on a totally different tear. I always go off. But the point is, if we all keep blaming it on our location, oh, I'm not in New York, I'm not in California. People, the hair is the same in New York and California. And I know demographically, incomes are higher, housing prices are higher. But in this world of internet technology and how small the world has become, we all have to step up and charge more. If all those little town people went from 35 to 45, the average haircut should be a minimum of $45, hands down. This is my opinion. These are not analytical statistics from someone from the Wharton School of Business. This is just my opinion, that we're professionals. We went to school, we study, we grow our craft, we stand on our feet. We do not have health insurance. We do not have paid vacation. When we take off because we have the flu, we do not get paid. When we go to somebody's funeral, we do not get paid. We work behind the chair and we get paid for the physical motion that we provide to the client. And that's it. So when everybody's bitching about the price of a haircut, they're the same person that works at a drug company and has 5 weeks vacation, a company credit card, a company car, the company pays for their gas, they have wonderful health insurance with no copays. They can't even begin to relate to us working and not having all of those things. They wouldn't even understand that if you even said it to them. And I'm not telling you to go into work and boo-hoo and tell your client, woe is me, my life is so horrible. It's the same with waiters and waitresses. You know, everybody, oh, I'm not going to tip them. They make enough money. No, they don't. They don't make enough money. You know, I always over tip, even sometimes when it's not well deserved, because I've been on the other side of that. And I know what it's like to be on your feet all day and catering to people that are, you know, constantly asking for yet another thing. But we just have to raise the bar, and we have to set an example that, you know, your hair is important. They're walking around with, you know, $5,000 and $10,000 handbags that we're stressing over not getting any hair color on when we're doing the service. And then they're going to complain about a $5 increase in their hair color. Come on, people. Your handbag's only purpose in life is to hold your keys in your wallet. So think about spending $2,000 on a handbag and you don't want to spend $35 on hair color. Like, it's just, oh, well, I did my rant. I hope that somebody watches this and says, you know what, I'm going to go in and raise my price, because that's what I do. When I get in this mood, I open up my laptop, I go in and I say, you know what, it's been a year since I raised my prices, and I don't go crazy and raise every single price. I don't do the haircut, the blow dry, the perms, the colors, the waxing. I don't do it across the board. I kind of just say to myself, what am I doing right now that I should be charging more for? Where is my skill at its best, and what am I most known for? And I start there. So for me, that would be my single process root touch up and my highlights. So even if I go in and raise it $5, that's $5 times 8 to 10 clients a day is $50 a day times 5 days, and so on and so on. It adds up over the course of a year. And people's first thing is, but I'll lose people. You know what? If someone wants to pay you $35 for color, bon voyage, Sam and Sally, bye-bye. I want you to be lost. I want you to be replaced with someone who values a quality retouch. So I can't speak for the girl who posted that, whether her skill is up to par. I know somebody had commented under the post that they went on her social media and they saw that all of her reviews mentioned how inexpensive she is. So her claim to fame is that she's inexpensive. And I don't know about you, but I don't want that on my tombstone. She was cheap. She gave cheap hair. I would have said the other thing, but I try to keep this broadcast PG. So raise your price, raise your value, respect yourself, lose your money curse. If you didn't watch the video on money curse, please go back and watch it. That was my last rant about how we're raised by our parents to have a certain feeling towards money, and sometimes that's the issue. So we all love our parents and we all love the example they've set for us, but it's a new world and there's so much technology and there's so many ways to learn and grow yourself. And if you're not educated enough in hair color, then you don't deserve to raise your price. But shame on you, because the education is everywhere. You can get to hair shows so much easier. There's so much online education. My own online education is there for the taking, and is, you know, changing lives every day with people that are taking my course saying, wow, I never knew this, and that's an awesome little nugget, and I'm going to try this, and I'm getting a lot of great feedback. So educate yourself, charge what you're worth, and always continue to join me on my coffee and colorful conversations. I'm very excited. Next Wednesday, I am having Nina, who I shared with you. I shared her video on my page. She's a business consultant for salons, and she's doing great things. And I wanted to get the two of us together to share with you what we're all about and what we're doing together and separately to change all the stylists and salon owners' lives for the better. So please tune in next week, where we'll do the interview live here on Facebook on Coffee and Colorful Conversations. I also am offering my Let's Kick Brass class online in October. I'll be sharing more information about that on future coffee talks, as well as you'll probably get something. If you're on my email list, you'll be getting that as well. It's, I don't have my calendar in front of me. I think it's October 14th. It's whatever that Sunday is. I believe it's the 14th. Yes, Sunday, October 14th at 7 p.m. So if you're not from Philadelphia or you're not close enough to come to Philadelphia to see me at the premiere show, please be sure to tune in to the online webinar version of the exact same class, Let's Kick Some Brass. It's my favorite. It's changing people's blonde all over that follow what I teach, and it's been really awesome, and I love, love, love sharing it. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope everyone has a very colorful day, and raise those damn prices now.